Okay, here we are now. So we're going to start. So last week I was dealing with dates. So I was trying to do something, and so if you have watched the previous video, we stopped here about dates. So we are trying to find the date difference between a certain year from another year. So let me just put this one. So in this case, we talk about date parts. We talk about format as well. So when we say date part, there's a way to use date parts. Sometimes you have, like for example, if I go here now, if I say, so I'm just going summary first of what you did. If I say select from employees, employees here now. So if I do this now, if you see higher date here, this is the date format here. And then if you see another format here, which is higher date, and which one do we have? So we have higher date here, 1987, and this one. Now, for date part, sometimes you are working on certain things and you just want to extract the year. You don't want to extract the month and the day. What you would do is that you use date part. Say date part year. That is, I want to extract only the year. Then I'll look for the column. The column is higher date. So that's how to do that date part. As I told you, the alias like as date part 1. Then this one is get date, simply means that if you want to get the current date, which is 2017. So I can do that as well. So I put comma here because I can select this and then select another one, which is get the year of the current date. So if I do this now and execute this one, only this part for now. What have I done wrong? Sorry. From employees, it should be this way. Now you see this one is 2019 because get date all through is 2019, 2019, 2019. So that's what is happening here. Now, if I want to now say I want to find the difference, the date difference between these two, I can decide to say, okay, this is the first year, this is the second year. Okay, I want to say comma. I want to say, okay, date difference. I'll now say date difference in months. I want to find it in months. What is the, rather than in the date difference. So I would say in months, I can say MOTH. I don't like using capital letter MOTH, which is months. So I'll say months. I will now put the first one, which is the year here now, which is higher date. So I can say the first month, which is higher date. Higher underscore dates, comma, and then get dates. So I would say as, let me say as difference, because I want to name the column as difference. So if I now do this now, month, add date, get date. Am I getting it right here? As date difference, months, add date, yes, and then get date as from. So I should be able to get it from employees this way. Incorrect status as, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I'm supposed to cut this. The second one should be here as, so if I run it now, so you could see now, that means that in months, if I calculate 1987, between 2019 and 1987, the date difference is 382 in months. So if I change it to year, it's going to just divide it by 52. So if I run it now, it says 32. You could see it's 32 years, 2019 minus 1987. That means that if the person is born in 1987, that means that the person is 32 years old. 993, that means the person is 26 years old. So, and so on and so forth. So it depends on the scenario, how you want to use date difference, and so on and so forth, and date part. So we discussed this. We did a lot of examples last week as well. So today we are going to talk about another topic which I mentioned. We're going to do in our we're going to talk about triggers, how people is going to react with triggers. Have we ever seen how triggers work? What is triggers? That's what we're going to look at first. So the triggers is all about what's really, if you look at the word mini trigger, what does trigger mean? We can say, what's trigger? Trigger is something that, that makes something to, that creates a prompt alert for something. For example, you already have certain things in your database, and then suddenly someone inserts something into your database. Someone, for example, now probably you have 10 records before in your database, but now another person now register. That means that one is the 11th person that is registered. So what happened? Immediately the 11th person enter into the database, there may be a trigger. You might write a trigger to say, alert me to do this, send email to do this. That's what we call trigger in database. So that's how to write trigger. There's a way to write trigger. It's very complex, but it is more fitted in project. But we're going to do just a simple example here at the moment, how to write trigger. So a good example of trigger is, let me just open one web page for us. Trying to see which one to use for us. So let me drag this. We're going to look at one example, perfect example of triggers. Oof. My computer is slow. Oh, my screen is, why my screen is, okay. Here I am. Here I come. So want to look for triggers here now. Hopefully I can find triggers because it's very important for us to do triggers here. Last week we did a lot here. I hope people should go and watch this because it's very important for our project. So that when I'm explaining in the project, I don't want people to just say what Mike is saying and so on and so forth. So I'm looking for triggers here. A good example of triggers. They don't have it here. So I might have to, okay. Okay. All right. So I'll Google here. Can everybody see my screen? So I'll just Google. Okay. So triggers. So we use that. So what I'm trying to teach you now is that we're going to use triggers on SQL. So we are going to use this sample to write triggers on our own database, which we have here. So in which I've explained before, what is SQL Server triggers? So this is what it is here now. SQL Server triggers are special stored procedures that are executed automatically in response to the database object. So if certain events happen, so what are the events that might happen? We call it DML, DDL. Have I explained DML and DDL to us before? Can someone answer that? Have I explained DDLN and DML to us? Do we understand what is DDLN and DML? Okay. No one. I don't think I've explained that, or probably I just explained it briefly. Okay. So DML is simply data manipulation language. So what happens is that anything that is called DML in database simply means that anything that is called insert, update, delete, they are manipulation, because it simply means you are manipulating something. For example, if you insert something, if you increase the record of a database through insert, that means you are manipulating the database. If you update as well, you are manipulating the database. If you delete it, you are manipulating it, because you are actually changing something inside the database. That's why it's called data manipulation language, DML. There's also what we call DDL. That one is definition. The reason why it's called definition is because sometimes you want to create, you want to define how your database will look like. You want to say, okay, my database will have primary key, create a table, alter a table, drop a table. These are examples of DDL. So that's when they said here. So triggers will only happen when there is insert, update, and delete. So anytime you are trying to write trigger, you have to use insert, update, and delete, or create, alter, and drop. So in our case, we are only going to use insert as trigger. So we're going to use insert as an example, okay? Which is, so if I say insert, is it DDL or DML? As I explained now, who can answer that? Is it DDL or DML? Insert. We can put it on the chat box. Okay, perfect. It's manipulation. Thank you, Mr. Deleke. Is DML? Yes. Is DML because it is manipulating something in the database. So that's why it's called DDL and DML. So now this is the syntax to create trigger. So in this case here, though we don't have it, but we are going to use this to create trigger in our database that we have. So look at it, create trigger. I will call it a trigger name. The schema name, which I've told you before, is what define your database, which I will show you again. On table name, which is employees, we are going to use after. So I can use insert, but we want to use insert. I don't want to use delete or update. Then not for replication. So you can put that as, then you can now put your SQL statement here. So I'll use insert here as an example, okay? So let me look at how we're going to use insert here now. So I don't want to use create, because I don't want to spend much more on okay, let me see. Okay, let's use insert. So let's use insert. Let's use this one. We want to create a trigger. I'll use this sample. We'll go to our database here. Now we get this how to do it. So for example, you don't know about something much. This is how you can use your research to do something. You copy the formula, look at it very well. This is HR. This is my tables. My tables here, the schema here is DBO, isn't it? So I don't really need, so I'll call it schema name here. I'll just call it employees. I can call it employees here. So I'll just say employees dots, because my tables here is employees anyway. So I'm triggering employees dots. So I'll give it a trigger name. So my trigger name is trigger one. Let me just call it trigger one. Okay, I'll give it a name. So I'm creating a trigger called employees.trigger1. On which table? On employees. Then after someone has inserted something into my database, so I'll just use insert statement here. After insert, so I'll just say insert. Then in this case, I don't need this. As, so I can now put my SQL statement here. Employees. Am I not? After insert as. So now the next one we're going to do now is that we're going to insert something. Insert. So we want to insert. How do we insert something into? I told us last week how to insert certain things last week. You first define everything there, isn't it? So for us, it's employees, isn't it? So so employees. Let me just, I want to remove these things. It doesn't, for now, let's leave it because we don't have so many schemas. So insert into, now, if you look at your employees, you see columns there, isn't it? Now, I told us that because this one is primary key. You don't put primary key there. You omit it because it's going to automatically put something there. So you just go to first name. I'll just say first name. I don't like, I want to use small letter now. First name, insert, first name, last name. Then we want to insert something to email, then phone number, and then we're going to put something on hire date as well. Then we're going to put job ID. Then we're going to put salary. Okay. We're going to put manager ID. No, we won't put something on manager ID and job ID. We are missing it. It's a primary key as well. It's going to omit it. See? No one can show me that I shouldn't put something there. Yeah. Salary and department. We're going to put no department as well. So we have salary, hire date, phone, email, last name. So this is where we're going to put something. I will now say values. So the values, you have to be careful when you are putting your values. You have to what? Put everything in what? In quotes. First name. Let me call my first name Michael. Cool. Last name, isn't it? Is, let me use Omega. I have to quote it as well. And then what next? Email. Let me use the leke at yahoo.com. Vieni Adeleke too. Comma. And then what next? Phone number. I'll use 234. That's one African phone number. 70704412. That one is done. And then what next? Hire date. You can put what date? What can you put on date? Oh, we can put 2019 01 Supposed to put it this way. Hope it works. And then lastly, what date? Salary, £60,000. Okay. Now, here it is. Do you think it's going to work? Okay, now let's run. So let me run it. Syntax error. So where's the syntax error? Insert into, I didn't do something. Insert into first name, last name, email, phone number, add the salary, values, Michael, Omega. Yep. So line 5. I'm missing something. So where is it?
Oh boy.
Execute. As insert into first name values. Insert into employees. People should look at it. Okay.
Michael, this someone's webcam is on. And
oh, I didn't even look at it. Who is that? Maybe let me just.
I think it's Michael's his name as well.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah, his webcam and I think his voice also.
Okay, let me stop his video.
Okay.
Yeah, I've stopped his video now. I didn't even see it. I'm just concentrating on my screen. Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. All right. So now it's commanded execute successfully. So we can see it now. Thank you so much, Bro Austin, for letting me know. I didn't see it. So we can see everything is executed successfully. Do we understand what I did now? We have created a trigger. Now, it's called insert. So now, what's the purpose of trigger, which I've said it? Anytime something is inserted into this, after this, it's going to create a trigger. If you want to know if the trigger is working, you go here to, I think it's programmability, and then you go to, which one, that one now? Database triggers. No, I have to refresh it, sorry. It's not showing here. Am I on that? Oh, sorry, employees. No, it's not showing. Keys, triggers. So trigger one now. So if I go here now, and I click this, and I say, oof. And I said, if I now open it, did you see what happened? Use HR after insert, trigger one. So this is what is there now in it. So anytime someone try to insert something to database, it's going to trigger something. So if I trigger and do something now, if I put something here, if I now say I want to insert another record, copy, I'll use different. Let me say I want to use, let me use another query now. So if I just do this now, and I said, let me use Michael 2, Omega 2, 70,000 pounds. So if I do this now, cannot insert value new into job ID table. Column does not allow news. I think I've made a mistake here. Michael 2, Omega 2, employees. Cannot insert the value new into column job ID table HR. Column does not allow news. Insert fails. Why? Insert employees into employees first name. Values Omega 2. Anyway, let's leave it for now. So the purpose of triggers is.
Hold on, bro, Michael.
Yeah.
Do you have job ID in that list? No.
There is job ID, but we have to omit it because it's a foreign key. So we don't need to put it there.
Okay.
We don't need to put it there. So now in this case, when we try to talk about trigger, because it's not until we start to do a project, that's when everything will be realistic to us now. So I want to see what I don't want, because we are only using DML now for trigger. So we trade trigger on this after insert. So as begin, did I use as begin? No, we don't even need that. So insert into, so we insert into this and then select, no, this one is too complex for us now. So create trigger on production after insert as begin, set insert into select blah, blah, blah. So insert into, yeah, which we did now. So, yeah, so we are still okay. Let me check. So now I will still check because we have to know it works now when we execute it successfully. As so our main code was here before as begin. Let me use begin. Let me see as begin. We didn't use begin, so it's another problem here. As begin. So I want to see if I'm missing something. So as begin here. As begin. So do we know the meaning of this? Maybe I should tell you. I have to show you. Who can remember set no count on? If we didn't do it, but I will tell you now. If you want messages to show in your if you want messages to show. Okay, it's already created. So let me create trigger 2. I'll just use this trigger 2. I want to test something. Okay, that's fine. We can't have more than one email 2. So let's do it this way. Execute. So now it's executed successfully. So now the next time I want to query this thing, I can just say select star from trigger 2. So what happens is if anybody has inserted something to the database, it's going to bring the record. Trigger, is that how I spell it? I can't even remember. Fresh, trigger 2. So select from blah, 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 trigger 2, yeah. I don't know why it's employees trigger 2. It's supposed to work. So the purpose is to query. It's like view. I think we remember when we did view then, wasn't it? When you create view, you trigger 2, invalid object, trigger 2. Okay, for now, let's just leave it for now. So I want to move to the next lesson for now. I think trigger is a little bit tricky, but the main idea is that if you insert something, I have inserted something now on trigger 2. Probably I insert another thing. The purpose is to know the record of how many people have probably increased the record, have, probably updated your database in the last time you wrote your database or something like that. Something that will trigger. Okay, trigger 2 is already created. Trigger 3, just testing it. So anyway, for now, let's leave it. When we are doing the project, I have it in the project, so which is working fine, and so on and so forth. So the next one we're going to do now is exist. We're going to do exist, and I have something for us to practice on exist. So let me just look for it now for us. Exist. Okay, I'll just bring it out now. So before we go on, I want us to show you what is no count and no count on is. What does it mean? I was asking us no count on. What does it mean? What does that mean? Do you understand what it means? It means that if you want your message to show, set no count on. It means that if, for example, you did something. So for example, look at what I did now. Look at what I'm doing. Select from employees. Someone is yawning there. Someone is tired. Okay. I did this. If you look at messages, what happened? It says 40 rows affected. If I said set no count on, see what's going to happen first. He didn't put it there, isn't it? He didn't say 40 rows affected. It just says command executed successfully. If I remove it, I don't set it on. What am I doing? Messages. Hold on. Off. Set no count off. Let me see what's going to. I know the purpose is. So 40 rows affected. So if I say on, it's not going to bring it out. So that's the purpose. So if it's off, it's going to count it. It's going to show you what is affected. if it's on. So that's the purpose. Sometimes you are writing database and you want to print it out. You don't want it to say 40 rows affected. You just want to bring out only this. So sometimes it's good to say set no count off. Do you get what I'm trying to? And set no count on. It's better that way. So if you want to print out this record now, it's not going to show 40 rows affected. It's going to only print out this. So most people just say set no count on, so that it's not going to show that 40 rows as affected in the database. That's the purpose of that. So we're going to go to exist now. So okay, so this is DDL first. I intentionally bring this out because we have to just understand it very well. DDL, sometimes you are in a situation where you quickly want to do something, you want to test something, and someone will say, can you give me the DDL of your database? So that's what it means, definition of the database. So DDL simply means definition language. It's used to create tables. So what you use to define your database. For example, now I want to execute this statement. Execute the following in your. So if anybody can go to this website and see how we have practiced this before, but just to see how it is to do DDL, I will tell you the purpose of what we want to do now. So if I put in chatbot now, so if you go to this website, if everybody could go to this website now, I sent you a link on your chatbot. It's very important. I want you to see why it's very important to know about DDL. And I want you to open your browser as well to go to SQL Fido. SQL Fido. Sometimes you are in a situation where you are going to, work with people and they said they need your help. They said, can you create a DDL for me? So the DDL means that you create a sample of what you want to do. It's not the whole database. You just create a small database yourself. So when you create that small database yourself, you are trying to create a sample of what you want to get, the result of what you want. That's why we have DDL and DML in database. Okay. So in this case, if it's everybody there, if you can see the link here, I've put it on the chatbot here. The link is techcodeinternet.com SQL exist DDL. If you can copy this, so I'll do the same thing here. But what I'm trying to do here is that I'm trying to show you something about DDL. So anytime you see create something, this is called DDL. You are trying to define your database, how it's going to look like. So if I go here, copy here, I've copied I'm creating a new set of database now. This is a new database. I'm creating a table, customers, this. So you could see I'm defining this under HR. Now you have to select the database you want. Now, what I want you to do here is also to create a database. I don't want you to I want you to first create a database. And under that database, so if you follow me now, say create database called DDL sample, DDL underscore DML. I just want you to call it that way. Create database like that way. So if you can do that first, so let me execute it first like this. Execute it. Okay. No. Now, before you do this, click on your databases, say new query, or you go here, you change this one because you want to query your database, your own database yourself. So the best thing, because you don't have database here, do this here, click on this database, say new query, because I'm creating a new database entirely. This one, this way. I'll not do this. It's on master. Say execute. Why is it saying choose a different database name? Oh, okay, I've created it already. So since I've created it already, I will have to look for it here. Refresh. So I'll right click here, click new query, paste it. I want you guys to do this thing. Oh, sorry. Why am I doing this? Okay. Which one is not already done? It's already done. I think I've created them already. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't know I've created them already. Okay. I think everything's already created. All right, then. I want to make sure everything's created because I'm using them for a sample for us. So we are not doing anything much here, but for you to understand what is DDL is for you to create. So in this example, you are trying to say, I'm creating a DDL category ID, a table called categories, but it has a column category ID, which is the primary key category name. So you are defining your database. That's what we call DDL. So if you see someone saying, can you create a DDL for me? It means that you are trying to create a definition of your database. So we use the word create in doing that. Then there's what we call DML, which is this, which is below here. DML simply means that data manipulation language. You are now manipulating your table now. You are manipulating the tables you have created. You are inserting something into it. You are updating something into it. So this is what we call what? DML. So what I will do now is that I will go here, do this. Since I've created this now, I want to now manipulate things with it. I want to use the word insert, update. I think they only use insert here, regardless of that. But you can use update. We have already know how to use update anyway. I'll go to my SQL here back. I will right click on this DDL DDM. I'll now say I want to do DML. Now see what I'm doing? Execute. Now it say one row is affected, which is fine now. So I've already done my own manipulation. It means that I've updated the record. I have manipulated my table I've created. That's what we call DML. Don't worry about the code. Just understand the terms DML and DDL. So in case you are talking to people that are database developer, they might be using the word DML and DDL. That's what it means. That they are trying to say that you are manipulating database and you are defining database. So I mentioned SQL Fidu. What is the purpose of SQL Fidu? You could see, use this panel to set up your database problem. Probably you went to a forum called Stack Overflow and say, oh, I'm having problem with the database. But you understand the problem, but you cannot give them the whole database of your workplace. You cannot, but you can create a sample of what you are talking about so that people can understand what you're trying to say, so that you can present the problem to them and they can help you to say, okay, this is where you are having problem. This is where you are having problem. Okay, so that's why we call it what? We call it SQL Fidu here. So I can say I want to create my DDL here first. So I will first create my DDL, and then I can even, do a lot of results here. Even if you don't have SQL before, you don't install it on your PC, you can easily do that online here, test everything. So I can first create my DDL here. Sorry, my clicking. So this is my DDL first. So I will build it first. So I will go back to the same place where I create my DDL, the website. Where's the website? This is the DDL first, and then DDL. So I'll come here. I'll say I'll create a table, categories. Copy. So paste it. And then let me build it. So it has built it for me now. So if I view it, so they are trying to give us, sorry, what am I doing? Where's my schema? Let me go back to my schema. Clear. So let me run it, paste, build schema, run SQL. So where's the sample? So I've built it now. I've not used this SQL video before, but it's very good for, where's my stuff? Now let me create my table now. After that, let me create the table. And where's my SQL? That's the one I just created now. I will now do my DML there. So let me do my DML here now. Let me see if it's going to work the same way here. Let me run everything here. Build schema should work. Don't know why it's not working. I didn't see anything. Anyway, I don't think it's working here. I don't know why it's not working. Applying to this here. Run SQL. Am I doing the right thing? Oh, yeah, it is. So I've created it here. So you could see everything that is created here now. So this is the purpose of this. So you can practice what you want to practice here as well online if you don't. So the main purpose of this is to just give people, what you are doing, sample of what you are doing. So if I now said, I want to query this now, I want to run this, I can say, okay, now I have the table, I can say select from categories. The purpose of this is just for you to see how things run, because you will deal with people outside. They want just the DDL of something. You have to just form it for them and say, this you have already created. You say, oh, this is how my data is, but I'm having problem to join it. I'm having problem to do inner join. So that's the purpose of SQL Fiddle. Please just take note of this. SQLfiddle.com is a good place to learn. You can see tutorial out there how to do it, but it's more about using your DDL and DML to create small database, to be able to troubleshoot something, to give someone a sample of what you are going through, probably your problem and everything like that, and then they'll be able to point out the problem. Because you cannot, sometimes you have large database at work, you cannot try to say you want to copy everything, or some of them are confidential and you can't just share it. So you have to use certain samples files, samples data to present your case, so that they will understand and they can tell you the problem is. Okay, so SQL Fiddle, DML, DDL, that's how to use it. Okay, it's the common thing you will come across in future. All right, so if you have any question, please, you can ask me, please. If there's any question you want to ask me about DDL. Now, in SQL, I will show you something. If you look at HR here now, if you look at the tables here, you can create DDL from it as well. You can say, right click on this and say, I want to script table as. So I can say creator. If I say creator, it's going to create something that is similar to this table. Okay, so if I say create, I'll say new query editor. It's going to bring out a code for you to create these tables. So you could see it generates everything that is there now. Did you see what is happening now? So you can easily do that, but sometimes it's filled with certain things, like there are some constraints. So sometimes you might have to remove some constraints. But before you start doing this, you must be good at database. You understand? Before you start changing things you must know what you are doing. Because in this case, I don't write pad index, but it is the SQL engine that put all these things there. So basically, what is happening here, this one also are part of DDL. You understand? Insert to, I can say, okay, I want to write these countries as insert to. So it's going to create it. Do you see it now? DBO, DBO. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's similar. You can easily copy something, even from what you have before, and create it yourself. But you must familiarize yourself to, write database like that. If you're a SQL developer and so on and so forth. Okay. But you have to understand that you must know what you're doing. That's it. So that's all about DDL and DML. So script table as, you can find create, you can find insert, you can find selector, everything here that can quickly give you what you want, the code you want. Probably you want to copy exact the same thing here. You can say script to, I want to create table as this, and then I'll create the table as department like this. And then I'll say, okay, what can I do? Oh, I'll just remove what is top here. I don't really need this. I need this for me because I'm used to database. I'm a developer. So use HR probably because I know HR simply means I'm talking about this database. But I want to create a table called department 2. So I want to create a copy of it. I'll just say department 2. That means I won't have duplicate database. If I say that, that's all. I'll say, okay, I'm creating this table, primary key, and this and this. I don't need all 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 this primary key clustered. Oh, what's this? What's this? I only need this three. I can just do this. And that's it. Am I doing anything wrong? Let me remove this comma. It shouldn't end with that. Create table. And then that's it. I can say go. I can say not go or anything like that. Then I execute it. I'm doing something wrong. It in no create table. Department 2. Yeah. No. Something wrong here. Create table. Department 2. HR. Let's see. Let me remove new here. Not new. Something's still wrong here. Let me use go. So I'm manipulating it. I trying to show you how you can easily. Let me remove this. I don't know why it's giving error in this. I just want to show something faster. Still giving error here. Okay, let me remove this. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you can easily edit this and say, okay, I want to, let me see if I can do this. No, you know, why it's doing that. Just want to see if it's going to do that. Department name, department 2, department ID. Okay. So I don't know why it's doing that, but the main thing is that you can manipulate everything that is here. You manipulate it and get what you want. So that's what we call DDL. So we're going to go to exist now. Oh my God. So we're going to go to exist. Sorry. Okay. We're going to start with this one, database. So I want to start with case statements. We did that last 2 weeks, case statements. So we're going to use this as more examples of case statements because the reason why we need to go back to case again, even though I've taught us how to use case, is because you are going to be using them a lot in the project. So I want to go back to it. So this one is a good example. We are using AdventureWorks 14 already anyway. So we'll be querying AdventureWorks 14. So we're going to use the same thing. But what's the purpose of this? The purpose of case is to deal with multiple conditions. For example, so the person was asking a question here, and that's how to troubleshoot things. He said, I have an SQL statement, I have a case from select, but I can't just get it right. Can you guys show me an example of case where the cases are the condition and the result are from the cases? For example, he was saying this is it, but he doesn't know how to use it. So they now guide him. So it's quite simple, but the main thing is that you know what you want. So we can do this here now. We want to practice this, okay? We want to see what condition fit ours. We are querying AdventureWorks. So I'd rather let us use that. How can we query AdventureWorks? Who can answer that? I want to query AdventureWorks. I don't want to say, I can say use AdventureWorks 2014 and start coding, but I don't want to do that. Okay. I want to use another method. Who can tell me that? How am I going to do that? Okay, not sure. Okay, let me remind us. We can right click this. We can do three things. This one, you can do this, or you can select this thing, because at the moment it's trying to say this database is connected to HR database, but I can go back and look for Adventure Works, and then it changes to Adventure Works. Did you see it now? Or you can right click it and say new query. The Adventure Works here and say new query. That means that you are trying to query database. Okay, that's how to do that. So in this case, I'm saying use Adventure Works, go select product number and then category equal to, now you are saying where you find category. Now, because if you go to Adventure Works, you will see product number. You will see product number. Let's look for product number. I don't think it will even work anyway, because I can't find product number here. Can we see product number? Because that one is for Adventure Works 2012. We don't have Adventure Works 2012. I'm trying to look for product number. So in this case anyway, it's a case product line. Is that where you find case? We are going to change this later on, don't worry. Is that select product number category equal to case product line, where you see product line when R then road, because the column is category, but in the category where you see product line when R then road from production.product. Okay, it's production, so we have to look for production. So we have to look for production.product. So it's in production.product. So we are fine. Here it goes. So we have it. That's good. Now let's, to see what is happening, you do this. Select from production.products. Do you know the reason why they use production.products? Who can answer that? Now let's see what is happening. This is the product number they are talking about. And then what else they are talking about? Category. Category, product number. This is product number. Okay. Then what next? Product line. Okay. Now, it's saying that select product number. I want you to bring out the column ender product number. Category should be equal to case product line. So when R then road. So anywhere you see product line, when there is R, when R is going to be road. When M is going to be mountain. Okay. So now, so if you go to product line here, let's see if anything there that warrant anything. Do you see R? Did you see product line? Case product line. I'm talking about product line. So if you see R, I want you to change it to road. So if I run this now, it's going to, where we see R, is going to replace it with road. Where we see M, mountain. Do you get what's happening now? So you are using case to fulfill multiple conditions. Okay. Now that's what it means. Then name. This is the name. So we are selecting 3 there. I can rearrange it this way. I don't like something like this. I can say name here. I always like things to be in good form. I'll just remove this name here. So I don't need this one. Comma again. So now if I run it now, see what will happen now. So if I go now, product number, so I have to say product line, because now I said it should bring out product line, because I won't see road. I won't see anything here now. See road. Did you see it now? Mountain. So where R has shown, it replaces, because it says category equal to case product line. So where, okay, let's, so that to make things easy, let me put product line here. Product line. Okay. So that we understand. Do we see what happened here now? not for sale, not for sale, but this M, it says mountain because there is M in product line. It should write mountain. Initially, there was nothing here before, isn't it? But now we call it what? Mountain. All right. So where it finds hard, it calls it road. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It changed it. So I create a column called category equal to product line. All right. So I can name it anything. I can say category 2. It doesn't matter. You understand what I'm trying to say? But the main thing is about using case. You are using it to fulfill many conditions. Okay. So that's the purpose of case. So you sometimes find, for example, you are writing, which one did I do recently? You're trying to say yes or no. So you say case. If it is Y, say 1. If it is no, say 0. You understand what I'm trying to say? Or the value initially was 1 and 0. You can say if it is 1, say yes. If it is 0, say no. So something similar that way. That's the same thing here. You get what I'm trying to say? I will just say R for road. So it's quite simple. You just have to get used to it and so on and so forth. So if you have any question on that, let me know. It's quite simple, but when you have multiple tags, that's when it's tricky because you have to be using case, this, then, case, then. So what's the purpose of then? Then means that when certain things happen, use this. When certain things happen, use this. The last one we use else because you don't have any other condition again. Else, the last option, not for sale. In other words, if the value is null, it will be what? Not for sale. That's why, because we can't find anything that matches here. That's why I said not for sale. Suppose I didn't put else there. It's going to put null there. Okay? Did you see it now? Because there's no else there. There's nothing to fulfill it. Okay? But if I put else back, it's going to put what? Sorry. It's going to run it and say else not for sale. My running. So it's going to say not for sale and so on and so forth. That's exist for you there. Do you have any question on that one? That's for exist. All right. I'm working on what we are going to be doing on project. I have not started solution for it, but I've been able to grab what we're going to be doing together on projects. It's going to be long hours. So I want you to look through it first because to see what you are going to do is a lot of works to do. And the reason why I put this together is because it's not about project, it's what you can encounter anytime. Because I start this project to build it gradually and gradually until we get to complex part of things in SQL. So now, if you look here now, manually use this script. I said manually, that is, you have to go physically here. So I'm just giving you a sample of what you're going to do in your project to see a list of what you would do. You manually create a database yourself, but we will do it together. I will create the video with you guys. Okay. I'll create the video with you guys. So don't worry. That's not a big deal. So that's why we're going to spend like 5 hours or so on it. I'm trying to make everything work together now. Where's Microsoft Word? Okay. Now. Okay, don't worry. I'm manipulating them. Okay, if you can't see it, I'm sorry. I'm trying to look for 100%. Okay, it's fine now. I think we can see it now. I said you have to manually. I've not set it, so it's a draft. You manually create it because you are going to go back to the video and start doing your project because I'm going to give you exactly the same thing. But you are going to manually do that. You create database, and then you're going to what? Use script to create it. So I said you will use it to what? To create, and you're going to use script. So you do it with your hand, you do it with the script. You do this one also with your hand, you do it with script. How to back up manually with your administrator or use script. You do that. The same thing, attach, shrink, detach. We've done that before, but it's going to be kind of a project, small project on that one. That one is easy. But I will show you again how to use script to do it and how to use database to do it. How to use the SSMS, which is the SQL Server Studio, to do it. The same thing also, create database, create table. You can do that manually. You can do that with scripts as well. Part B, how to troubleshoot SQL. You know, sometimes we go to services.msc, we restart SQL Server. How to troubleshoot. Sometimes your SQL is not connecting. How are you going to change timeout? We have done that before. I will show you again. Then I'm going to ask like kind of 10 troubleshooting questions in SQL, which are common, and you have to get used to it. So I'll show you how to do that as well. I'm going to ask question on views. The views one we did, but I'm going to make where you are going to work on views. Views is interesting. It's the same thing. You write complex query and then you create it as view. As long as you know how to write SQL, that's the key thing there. So we'll create it, stored procedures, we'll do triggers. Don't worry about that one. We're going to do the same thing, cast, exist, subquery. So dates, which we covered last week, but it's going to be complex one. So I am going to take care of that, show you what we would do, and so on and so forth. Demonstrate different server role. We have done that before. I'm going to show you again in the project how to assign permission. Who is a DB owner? Who is a system admin? And what is the function of each server role in SQL database, and so on and so forth. So that is it. The last one, which is this one, will be this one. Now I'll play the video as a sound for you to see. You can go there. It's a free website. It's very good. I hope you can see my screen. Now, after each video, they will give you a challenge. They have 14 challenge. We are going to finish that day. Now, did you see the same thing? Challenge 1, creating a table and inserting data. That's number 1 challenge. What are your favorite books? You can make a database table to store them in. In the first step, create a table to store your list of books. You should have columns for ID, name, and rating. So in other words, you're going to create something like this. That's your first project. At least you create it. We have done it, but we are going to do it together that day. I have the answer for this anyway. So then the next one, you now start going to more advanced one. This challenge number 1, challenge number 2. This is the one they are trying to say now. This database contains incomplete list of boss office it and their release here. In this challenge, you are going to get the result back out of database in different ways. So they've given you a sample, but you have to just change it in the way they are asking you here. So we're going to do it together and so on and so forth. But what I tend to do before you do the challenge is that you watch a video first to get you to think. We'll do it together. I'll be asking questions so that we get what we want to do. And then, so in this video, they will tell you what to do. So the person talks about this and this. So I'm just showing you what we're going to do together. And then we ask questions. Then people will be able to know what they are doing when they are trying. You see, this is the end of this. So it's still similar to what you would do here, but they make it tricky, especially when you go here to more advanced query now. This is where we are going to start, getting our hands dirty more and more on SQL query. So this is it as well. So you start getting things much more tough, complex. This is the challenge you're going to have. But don't worry, you don't need to know everything if you don't want to become an SQL developer, but it's good for reference purpose. So they have created it. You will use queries to decide what songs to sing. For this step, select all songs title. So this one might be easy to do. But we'll see how the project will go as well. So that's it for that. And I have good news for you guys. I'm going to give you this to help you to prepare for your project online, 5 hours. I'll share the video with you guys. I'll play it for you and you will see it. Okay, let me open it for you. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. This one, this is the one that we have been doing, but in this case, you'll be watching each video. Okay, it's not that long for each one. So, for example, the one we did today, let's watch creating views. Can we hear the sound? Hello? Can we hear the sound on the screen? Okay, so if you look through this, it's all about basic of what you'll be doing. So, um, so these are the things you'll be doing a little bit, but this one is basic of things. So more of, I'll send you the link to this video. You can watch it as well. It's good. At least it refreshes mind as well on what to do. So they're talking about views here, the purpose of views, which we're talking about. And they mention one advantage there, which is about security of your database. Because if you create view, people can query view rather than creating your database. And one of the things recently, which I did, was creating a view, and then the view, at least if other people want to look at the data, they can't just say they want to query the database itself. They only query the view to get the information. So that's the key thing as well. So you create view is for security purpose as well. It's a security mechanism. That's how view is, and so on and so forth. So I'll send the link to the video. If you want to watch it, you watch it as well. But in that case, we'll use it to prepare for our next video. Any question? Any question? No? Okay. Right. Let me see what we can do next. Lastly, okay. Data dig. Right. Project data dig. Okay. 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 All right. So it's time to leave now. So I will let us then plan for when we can meet for the first project. So our next SQL will be, I want to bring it out for us to see, will be this now. It's going to be database design, and it's going to be database reporting. And after that, we'll be doing database reporting with Tableau as well. We'll be able to compare the difference between Tableau and database reporting. What is the difference? What is the advantage of database reporting and Tableau? So that's the next one. After that, we are finished. But we have to finish the project. The next one in line is the project now. Mock project with us. Mock project. So we're going to do mock projects. So that's it. So that's our next one, mock project online. It's going to be all day, probably 5 days, 5 hours. Not sure what time we're going to fix for that. I'm not sure, but we'll do it. It's good for a reference. We're going to look at different questions, interview questions as well for that. And then we'll go to database design and then database reporting and Tableau. That will be fine. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Bye. Cheers. Bye.